Hey, Compass family, how you doing? This is Master Transformation Coach Anthony, still with Master Transformation Coach Forrest, and we're going to talk about some morning rituals. And this is going to be part one. We have a part two coming up, but we're going to talk mainly about breathing. Breathing is so essential, right, to life. If you don't breathe, right, what happens? Obviously, a lot of things happen. So we'll talk about that. And starting your day off, particularly with breathing. A lot of the times, we'll say, or you'll hear from me, what's easy to do is easy not to do. Jim Rohn, a mentor of mine, he always said that, and it's very, very powerful, right? I mean, the easy things most people aren't going to do. So some of this stuff, and a lot of this stuff you've probably heard before, the question is, are you doing it? Are you practicing it? That's the question you have to ask. So as we go through, if you're not, or if you've done it before and you felt like it didn't work, we're going to give you some hows and whys on why this works, breathing. So as we go into slide 2, waking up. The first 25 minutes sets the tone for your day. It's very, very important. So where most people are going to go and they're going to, turn on the news or get onto their social network or go into their email, right? Those places aren't the right places to go. You start going into that's going to set the tone for your day. And most of those things have negativity that's attributed to it, right? So simplicity is the key. What's easy to do is easy not to do. Being that these techniques may sound weird and or something that you have heard before, question is, have you tried them? And is it what you are currently doing helping you to get you to your current goals of wanting to be overall healthier in mind, body, and spirit? So what are you currently doing? What are the things that you're actually doing inside of your morning ritual? Do you have one? Yes, or you don't, right? Everyone really has a morning ritual, regardless of what we think or not, but is yours on purpose? These morning rituals are only mere suggestions and not required. These are rituals that I have done that have helped me tremendously. I learned these from mentors of mine: Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Lisa Nichols, Napoleon Hill, and many others. Emulate the successful people. Do what they do. Create the pattern, and pattern becomes a habit. And once it's a habit, it's now you. We're built with a bunch of habits, right? And a bunch of patterns. And so I think it's so important to really emulate those successful people because they're already where we want to be at in so many different places. And you have to look at that person that's successful to you and who you deem as successful and see what they do. And that's what I've been able to do. I researched that, and these types of rituals have been able to help so much for me. If you don't do these, will you die or become more unproductive? I'm not sure. What I can say is that if you add these habits to your daily morning process, even if it's mechanical at first, I can promise that you will start to maximize and be more present in everything that you do.
Truth right there, Coach.
Whoa.
That's a good one.
Woo.
Yes.
The successful do these things, the average will not. And I know that I am coaching a person that's into self-improvement and understands the concept of being the change. Coach Forrest.
Yes, sir.
As we go into this next slide, a good morning routine, what does that do?
It's definitely going to support relaxation. Some people think that they want to have that cutting edge, like stress helps them be more cutting edge in their day. But I kind of debate that because the added stress, where is that ultimately going to lead you? It's going to lead you into deteriorating your health. So what is a way that you can be relaxed but mentally sharp is having a good morning routine. And it's overall going to lower your daily stress, leave you less susceptible to things like, disease, getting sick, and just feeling better. Right here, have a clearer and sharper mind all day, less brain fog. Can't tell you how many times brain fog has stopped me in my tracks from being able to get things accomplished and get things done. So, the morning routine helps with that big time. You get more accomplished through the day, you have more energy through the day, healthier and happier, definitely more long-term success and well-being, and allows you to build momentum and grow day after day. So that's just a small tip of the iceberg when it comes to a good morning routine.
Powerful. Bad morning routines set you up with a stressful day, right? More poor choices throughout the day. A domino for unhealthy eating, right? Less energy and more lethargy, increased anxiety, and that with anxiety can lead to stress, and then stress leads to depression.
Anxiety meds, so many people, are on the anxiety meds.
And no long-term benefits. Cause you to be stagnant in the same level in your at the same level in your life day after day after day after day. Once again, it comes down to habits, it comes down to routine, it comes down to patterns, right? And so how many people have that bad morning routine? I would believe that a good amount of people do, right? Because they're not waking up and they're not even thinking about getting into, these types of rituals, right? To be able to jump forward and to jumpstart their day. Breathing, Coach Forrest.
Yeah, so many different benefits. I mean, we can go on forever. We'll go through these quickly, but here's some of the things that a deep breathing practice is going to do for you. Obviously, your respiratory system is going to work better. So if you have difficulties like asthma, bronchitis, chest pain, you can get some relief from some of those things. 2, your digestive system is actually it helps your digestive system. It's like a massage for your digestive system. It says here, what I've learned through my health coaching is that constipation is very common, is often due to shallow breathing. When people learn to breathe into their lower abdomen, right, and that's where that lower abdomen is gonna massage into your digestive system, and you can start to have regular bowel movements. Very true. Breathing into the gut massages the internal organs. You have the pancreas, the spleen, the liver, the kidneys. It calms the emotions, most definitely. And it just so many things it does for the body. We automatically think the breathing is the mind, but the breathing is the body and the mind together. The lymph system works well, which is lymphatic fluid is cleansing your blood, so that can help speed recovery after illnesses. Circulation system increases oxygen to the heart, relieving congestion throughout the body. There's a flow of oxygen to the brain, to the eyes, especially when you get that flow of oxygen to the brain. I mean, the clarity that you get, right? Yeah, we're taking a deep breath right now. Just drink it in. Yes, immune system has more energy, helps your tissues to regenerate and heal, creates more energy for the body to heal and detoxify itself. In our detox plan, we definitely go over breathing too, and it's just a very important part of the overall process. Nervous system is calmer. Anxiety can be reversed by deep breathing habits. You may start to see more of a balance in the left-right side of the brains, more mentally present. You make better decisions when you're more here and now, and you're not so focused on the past and in your thought process. You can be more in the moment with whoever you're talking to or whatever you're learning. Physical appearance is better. You're going to look younger. Emotionally, you're going to feel better. I mean, it just goes on and on. Relationships are improved. Spirituality. You can deepen your meditation practice. Your intuition increases. So there's so many different benefits. I mean, that's just a small introduction to benefits with breathing. Coach Anthony, how to breathe? How should people start off breathing? And as we get into this, keep in mind there's no one way, right? We realize that there's certain different deep breathing practices, and they all have their benefits. But we're going to teach you a way that works, that we know works. It's proven. Maybe I'll take you through 3 deep breaths, and then Coach Anthony will then describe what we just did. So go ahead and just sit tall in your seat. Relax your shoulders. And slowly, softly breathe in through your nose. All the way down to your stomach, down to your abdomen. Hold it there. And then breathe out through your mouth or nose. And continue to breathe out. Draw your stomach muscles in a little bit. And then repeat. Inhale softly. Visualize like a feather's in front of your nose and you're trying not to disturb the feather. Hold it. Then breathe out. Continue breathing out. You want to get the full carbon dioxide, which is the waste product, right, of the breath, out. And then breathe in, soft and light, in through the nose. Expand your abdomen like you're filling up a balloon. Hold it there. Feel it in your body. Then breathe out. So that's the type of awareness breathing, that deep diaphragm breathing that we're talking about. And so hopefully you got a chance to experience that right now and what it's actually done. Just 3 breaths into making you more aware. You could probably hear our voice more clearly. Your mind is a little bit more focused. So, Coach Anthony, how to breathe?
Yes, and Coach Forrest, that was amazing, and you definitely hit that first point, right? It's just those last 3 breaths that we did, and And, the reason why we say hold it in for 3 to 5 seconds, just like Coach Forrest said, this is a technique that's worked for us. There's all different types of techniques. You put that into your philosophy, right? And then it helps to be able to change just how you look at a certain thing. So, yeah, holding it for 3 to 5 seconds is just so awesome because it gets you in that mindset of, okay, I need to calm down, hold that air in, and then let it back out, right?
And there's that oxygen exchange that happens. So like you breathing in a full breath, think about it. Normally we breathe high and our intercostal muscles are working, which are the muscles are between our rib cage. But when we do deep breathing, now we're engaging our diaphragm, really drawing oxygen to the lower lobes of the lungs, expanding into the lungs. And then we're able to, by holding it, all the oxygen actually moves into our lungs and into our bloodstream, into our body, instead of being wasted on a quick, shallow breath. So now we have a full oxygenated breath. We have a full carbon dioxide release. The carbon dioxides are the toxins, right? Normally we're breathing in some of our toxins again and recirculating that. That's where the brain fog comes from. So now we're getting rid of all the toxins, and then it's pure oxygen. So that's how we should be breathing.
Yes. Yeah. And you want to, start off with 30 slow, deep breaths, right? When you wake up in the morning, in the nose, right? Once again, you're going to hold it for 5 seconds in the abdomen, bypassing the chest, and then letting that right back out of your mouth 30 times. And then when you first start this, you may get lightheaded. It's normal. I remember the first time that I started this, I did get lightheaded, and that tends to happen. So just understand, hey, if you feel like passing out, right, make sure just maybe you're laying on your bed, right? This is morning ritual. You're in your bed, right? So if you pass out there, I guess it's make sure you hit the snooze.
Maybe
right?
you should do this in the shower when you're not sleeping.
And then you want to focus in on your breath, the oxygen going in your nostrils, right? So focusing in on that, like Coach Forrest said, like having what I tend to do is I visualize the fresh oxygen going in through my nose and past inside the nose, going into my lungs and seeing my lungs and going back into the stomach. So there's different types of methods that you can look into to keep you inside of that moment and to follow that oxygen. And then just be a witness of your thoughts. There's no judgment. I know that can be tough sometimes. We have that innate ability inside of us. It just goes back to the prehistoric times, right? Where, cavemen and cavewomen, you had to judge that stick because that stick could have been a snake, right? Right? So we get into all these different types of thoughts that go into our mindset. But instead of doing that, just don't judge it, right? So if anything comes from the past, label it, right? So it could be something that, maybe a thought that you had or a visualization that you had. Once I start labeling those and I just say past, you can say past, or you can label it with a name or whatever, it tends to put me right back in that moment, right? If it's an object, label the object, right? And so it's all about getting back into that moment, and that tends to help me as far as anchoring myself inside of that present moment. Coach Forrest, do you have anything to say about that?
I would say that this statement that you just said is the most, it turns breathing from something functional into something transformational. Transformational for you as a person, because what it does is it really brings to light your thought processes and the fact that we are so tied in with our thought processes, and our beliefs about different things, which is basically our ego, our self-image. And what this does is it helps dissolve the ego. And by ego, we don't mean, you have a big ego. By ego, we mean this is your self-image. This is who you think you are. You are more than your ego. Your ego might be, I'm a computer programmer. So everything I do is about being a computer programmer, and this is how much money I make, and this is how I feel about my life, and these are my friends, and you have different levels of ego. Maybe I'm a computer programmer and I'm American, and I'm, and so you have different, judgments and things about that, or I'm whatever your ego is, we all have it. And this process dissolves the ego so that you stop identifying with yourself as a self-image and you start identifying with your unlimited side, which is past your thoughts. I know this could sound very deep and philosophical, and we can go on an hour or several day conversation in just this topic, but really it's powerful, and it's worth noting that this is a very transformational process.
When you breathe deeply as a regular practice, you are breathing your way into good health. And you always go back to the benefits, so many different benefits in breathing in deeply. And then obviously, you know, it's critical that you start your day with that intention of breathing deeply and consistently throughout the day. So, right, the first 25 minutes, how we spoke about earlier, how you set the tone of your day is going to set everything that you're doing throughout that day. So if you breathe deeply in the morning, you're going to be more consistent as you go throughout that day. When certain types of stressors hit, right? I mean, not all of us hit our victory list or our to-do list, right? Because we have to go pick up the kids, or maybe something, you know, maybe the daughter or son got sick, the dog got sick, whatever that is, right? It takes us out of our day. And so now we can think back to what refreshed us in the morning, and then it becomes a practice that there's so many times I've been off to do something, and I thought I was going to get it done. Didn't get it done because I had to go somewhere else. And then I find myself, I'm taking a deep breath.
Yes.
You know, and then it just centers me right back in the moment. It calms me down, and it goes, hey, Anthony, you don't control really anything other than your attitude, right? I mean, there's a billion other things that can happen throughout the day, but that breathing just brings you back.
Where does anger and frustration and anxiety come from? It comes from the expectation of life should be this way, right? But then you're removing yourself from reality, really, because reality is neither good nor bad. It just is. And so when we can just, you know, be focused on the breath, be back to the present moment, when the unexpected occurs, which it's going to, it's not going to get us off our balance, off our center. We can remain centered, remain, you know, just less anxious, more mindful of the present moment.
And you know, with that, we are just simple, right? Simple is not always easy, but simplicity is so great, right? It just makes us more equipped to be the strongest version of ourselves in all aspects of our life when we breathe deeply.
Oh, that's fantastic. So that's it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.